Welcome to Africa Insight. In this week's video, we cover one story, and that's a big one in South Africa by a mile. It's the corruption allegations against Police Minister Senzo Mchunu. So Louw, tell us what's cracking.
Well, this all follows from an explosive press conference held by KwaZulu-Natal Police Commissioner Louw on Sunday, July 6, in which he effectively accused the police minister, ANC veteran Senzo Mchunu, of trying to shut down a special task force to shield himself and politically connected persons. The unit in question is the Political Killings Task Team, a multidisciplinary unit established in 2018 to tackle politically motivated violence in KZN. But more recently, members of that unit were seconded to an organized crime investigation in Gauteng, where, according to Mr. Mkhwanazi, they uncovered a syndicate that involves cops, politicians, prosecutors, and even members of the judiciary, all of whom are allegedly collaborating with business people and drug cartels. Now, central to this case is a flamboyant businessman, Vusi Mhlahla, nicknamed Cat, who last year scored a mammoth 360 million rand tender to provide the Gauteng police with health services. He was arrested in April and charged with, among other things, the attempted murder of an ex-girlfriend. But chat messages on his phone show exchanges with a third party, one Brown Mkhotse, who seemed to know a lot about the inner workings of the police, in particular efforts to shut down the task team and efforts by Deputy National Police Commissioner Shadrack Sibaya to take the police dockets away from the task force, effectively stalling investigations. Now, Mr. Mchunu was asked about Brown Mkhotse in Parliament's Portfolio Committee, Police Committee in March, but denied knowing him. But following Mr. Mkhwanazi's presser, Mr. Mchunu backtracked and said he was, and I quote, a comrade, but not an associate. Whatever the case may be, the affair has massive implications for Mr. Mchunu, but also for the police, for the NC, the president, and for the country as a whole.
Speaking of a country, Louw, South Africans, we don't have a good reputation, or we don't see the police services being good. I don't think this does anything great for them.
Indeed, the SAPs have had a long history of malfeasance and just gross incompetence. Most famously, of course, former National Police Commissioner Jackie Selebe was convicted of corruption in 2010 and was sentenced to 15 years imprisonment, although he really only spent a year behind bars. Bheki Cele was fired 2 years later, also for corruption, and his successor, Ria Piecha, was fired in 2015. Not for corruption this time, but rather for perjury and the failings during the Marikana massacre. But that's not the end of it. Piecha's successor, Khomotso Patlane, was fired in 2017 for gross dishonesty, and his successor, Kehla Setole, was fired 4 years later, basically for being MIA during the July 2021 riots. And the current commissioner, Fani Masemola, is himself facing the axe for irregular procurement, but perhaps also now for his part in the Mchunu saga. Curiously, Mr. Cele made a political comeback after being fired. Because back in 2014, after a few years in the wilderness, he was brought back into cabinet and then named, and you really couldn't make this up, police minister in 2018. Cele's successor, of course, Mr. Mchunu. And to add to the intrigue, Mr. Cele is also somehow connected with Mr. Mhlahla, having stayed in his penthouse apartment during recent visits to the capital. So all eyes are now on President Cyril Ramaphosa. He issued a statement from Rio de Janeiro on Monday, where he was attending the BRICS summit, promising action. So far, nothing. But Parliament is clicking into gear with 3 committees tasked with looking into the allegations. The most important of these, of course, is the Police Portfolio Committee, headed almost fortuitously by the DA's Ian Cameron, a man who rose to national prominence for getting into a shouting match with then Minister Cele. No doubt Mr. Cameron is licking his lips at the prospects of getting a big fish like Mr. Mchunu before committee. And while he's at it, Mr. Cele too. And I think we'll leave it at that.
Thank you for joining Africa Insight this week. If you'd like more information on our products or services, please visit our website or socials.